All right, for my first video on this channel, I wanted to go over something which we got to understand how information is presented to us. So right now, we're about 1 year into a supposed attack on this country against this group. So I want to show you what in the United States, the first information you got. So this is a video from NBC. And if I was a professional baseball player and I had a walk-up song, this is the walk-up song I want. It's like the special news report. But let's go over like the first 30 seconds. I'm not going to stop anything, but here it is.
This is an NBC News special report.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Laura Jarrett alongside Joe Fryer here in New York. We have breaking news out of Israel this morning where Hamas has launched a surprise attack within Israel's borders overnight. First, launching rockets from the Gaza Strip, then sending militants into the streets of the southern part of Israel. Hundreds.
All right. So I want to go back to this very first part where they're showing the very first pictures of this place. All right. This is a pretty massive explosion, right? Cars are being thrown. Cars have been thrown. This car is on top of this car. We go a little bit further. This is a car frame thrown on this car because that's a complete car. That's a complete car. That's a complete car. This is a partial car. Okay. But this is a huge explosion. And if we look at the rest of the place, there's no damage anywhere else with this kind of huge explosion. There's no windows blown out. There's no nothing. Like, and also, like, Israel, and especially southern Israel, it's kind of a desert. Like, to have rust on your cars, you look down the whole street, that, like, yeah, these could have been the 2 rust buckets that the people had, but like, you look down the street, these are pretty nice cars, right? And usually maybe like a fire would kind of clean up on this rust. These cars look placed. They look placed. This looks like a stage that these cars were placed in there. Also, it's 6 a.m. our time in the East Coast when this got presented to us. 6 a.m. In Israel, this happened at 6:30 in the morning. So by how the shadows are, it looks like this picture somewhere like 10 in the morning. Maybe a little bit earlier because they're deep shadows, but these are kind of really tall buildings. Same thing. I go back just a little bit.
Within Israel's.
Yeah. Pretty deep shadows. So the sun coming from the east in the morning, supposedly, from this picture. Pretty tall shadows. Like if it was any higher up, there wouldn't be as
borders overnight.
As big of shadows. Like that's pretty far for shadows. Like if the sun was any higher, the shadows start to shrink. So this is pretty early in the morning. This is the only water that's left for putting out all these, all this fire that's going on. These cars are cooked. Look, a car was thrown from somewhere else. We don't know where this car came from, and it was thrown. But there's no damage to any of these other cars. The buildings don't look that bad. And I want to show you an explosion that broke out a bunch of windows in Baltimore. Let me see. So this is an explosion in Baltimore. Minor explosion.
GE called it a quick pressure release.
Yeah.
That was.
And what happened, like if you look at all the flecks on this window right here.
BGE called it a.
And that was just
quick pressure release.
A small explosion. It didn't throw any cars. It didn't do anything, but it broke a bunch of windows. We obviously saw that one flex a ton. So there's something very fishy. There's not a lot of. There's not even like car debris damage in any of these other cars. These cars are totally fine. Nothing happened to them. So it begs the question. If this is the very first images we are getting, okay, within the first 30 seconds of a news broadcast, how real is it? Is this set up? What's going on here? A car was thrown. the force of the explosion through a car. Not only that, but this is like the frame. Where's the rest of the car? So it blew up a car. All this damage to cars, fire, all this kind of stuff. Not a lot of water. The sun's not out. I don't know what the temperature was, but I mean, I'm sure the amount of water that would have to be to put this out, there would still be water kind of puddling up all over the place. All right. And the reason why I get to this is we had that religious conversation. I was on a stream the other night and a religious conversation, and what is going on with these people versus the rest of any other the Abrahamic religions is we have to go into the account of this here. This is a statement. Actually, there's an article, and it could be satirical or not. I'm going to go with the latter, but there's an article published by Marcus Eli Ravage. He also did the biography of the Rothschilds. Was a Jewish American immigrant, and in his own words, the article is a real case against those people. But if we go down here and read this, like this is a whole, the article is all about this right here. Jewish artisans and Jewish fishermen are your teachers and your saints, with countless statues carved in their image and innumerable cathedrals raised in their memories. A Jewish maiden is your ideal motherhood and womanhood. A Jewish rebel prophet is the central figure in your religious worship. We have pulled down your idols, cast aside your racial inheritance, and substituted for them our God and our tradition. No conquest in history can ever remotely compare with this clean sweep of our conquest over you. They're saying over you. Anybody who believes in these Abrahamic religions, it's your God. It's not your God. It's their God. And this has come up, okay? And then they really bring it home. Like when stuff like this happens, and the people are dying, and the Arabics, especially the people in like Palestine, they're saying, "Oh God, oh God, oh God." These people are laughing at you because you're begging for their God. They're begging. You are begging for their God, and this is how they talk about it here. Here's a little insight of what they say.
They accepted the Bible. They call it the Old Testament, but still they accept it as the Word of God. Wait a minute, what? They accept this? That this is the truth? Yeah. There's a lot of common ground.
All three.
Oh yeah, and then Alex Jones saying this.
Abrahamics come out of the Jews. So just stop saying it's Judeo-Christian. It is Judeo. That's what it comes out of, and it's not some kiss the Jews' ass. I'm just not going to lie to people and say Christianity has nothing to do with Jews.
Well, all we disagree.
So, when you're part of that, you believe in that stuff. It's not your God. It's not your God. It's their God. They're making fun of you. They're making fun of you. They're making fun of you because when you worship, you don't worship to your own God. You're worshiping to their God. And I just want to, this is how I want to open up this channel. There's more things to come. I mean, I'm not prescribed to any of this Abrahamic religion stuff. I think history is mostly all, if not all of it, is all nonsense. And that's what I want to go over in this channel. But this is something that I wanted to bring up very first off, of just how easily you can be tricked. And then you're on a side, like you're picking a side here. I don't even know what's going on over there. So we're picking a side here. So I'm not picking a side. I don't even know what's happening because the very first thing I see is nonsense. But I want to go just a little quick thing there, even more into this video of how nonsense it is. Watch these guys, like clearly watch this dude here. This is supposed to be like an IDF military guy. And what should he do? Look at,
by the number
he's putting the gun
locations
right at this guy.
Moment,
this is
fighting the most.
That is not a military. This is not. Oops.
attackers.
This is not a
infiltrated
military
Israel?
trained man.
Joe, it's a really good question, and I asked the Israeli military
Look at this guy,
earlier.
watch
they
this.
would not say, but just judging by the number of locations.
Oh my gosh. That person is not has no firearms training, no firearm safety or anything like that. I mean, is this how they roll in that country? Is this how they do stuff? Because I mean, I imagine a lot of people get hurt. I imagine, and again, he does this stupid thing again. Like, this is all cool, weird. It's sick. It's sick because this is not what you're supposed to like. None of this is real. That's what I'm trying to get to. This is not real.
Forces on the ground behind me.
He's pointing the gun right at this guy. Stop. Okay. Stop believing this nonsense. Stop with the TV. This is all propaganda, brainwashing. If there's a book you should read, Edward Bernays' Propaganda. Go check that out. I'll link all these videos. This video, this art, like these two are the same. It's easier to read. I don't want to go through this. I'll link all the videos I use. But yeah, if you want to hear about more about this, not even this, but I mean just in general of the fakery that goes on in this world, hit the subscribe button. Love to hear from you guys. Thank you.